race today. Hey, everybody. Let me turn off the music. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. My name is Lauren, otherwise known as Mrs. Tomato Head. And this is Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce. And it's been 3 weeks since we have been live, and it feels like forever. It feels like absolutely forever. It's only been 3 weeks, but I don't even like missing a week. So I'm glad you are all here with me today. This is the first Thursday of the month, which means our friends Tim and Darylyn at Inspired Garden. I'm out of breath. I ran upstairs real quick to brush my hair and to put some lip gloss on, so I just made it in time. I hit like the 2-minute mark, and I put myself on mute, and I run around, do all that stuff. All right, relax. And I was a little bit ambitious with the amount of tomatoes I'm talking about today. But we will have fun. There's lots to talk about, especially with our group, which is Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap on Facebook. It's more a community than a group. And we are the ultimate place for the tomato enthusiast or someone who is looking to grow tomatoes. So we've been busy. We started our grow outs here and in Pepper Lovers Collective and Swap. Shouldn't say we started them, but we started signups for the grow outs. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. But a lot of the varieties I'm talking about today can go in one of the grow outs. So I wanted to spotlight a couple of the breeders and the company, Old South seeds and Wild Mountain seeds and all of that. So I wanted to show you what some of them look like. I don't want to get too far behind, but let's get to some comments. So if it's your first time, welcome. All kinds of comments. You want to share where you're from, how long you've been growing, what varieties you're excited about, anything. I try to get as many comments on the screen as I can, but I can't get them all, so it is a little impossible. But this is streaming on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, on my Instagram channel, and we're on my Facebook page, Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. They should be streaming in all 3 places. So if it's your first time, welcome. We have a lot of fun. Usually runs about 2 hours, which sounds crazy, but it goes by really fast. And I'm quite chatty about tomatoes because I love them a lot. So our friends from Inspired Garden Life, Tim and Darylyn, as I started to say, they are sponsoring this show, which they do the first Thursday of the month. And they are giving away 5 free t-shirts, and 3 $25 gift cards. We also have some prizes donated by Teresa Begin, Deb Toothaker, and Olivia Lai. So all you have to do to win any of those prizes is type in, drumroll please, #tomato. And I will do a drawing at the end of the episode. I can't keep up with how many people want to donate without, we never ask for donations. So it's really it makes me kind of get choked up a little bit because everybody's so generous. And that's what makes our community a bit different from others, is that we're way more into giving and educating and all of that than taking. It's really more give than we take. And we like to see each other grow the varieties that they're looking for. I know I love it when I can give somebody a variety they're looking for. I am quite behind with getting seeds out to everybody. And don't worry, I have all weekend to do it again. I'm working on it. The second half of my Sophia Sakava grow outs still has to go. Those of you that for one reason or another were a backup or whatever in 2 of my groups, I've got your envelopes ready to go. So that will be there soon. And then I have a whole slew of people that I have promised seeds to. And you trust me that I've written it down in my notebook. And I leave to go away to visit my parents in Florida on February 12th. I will get them all out before then, but hopefully way before then. And if I owe you seeds and I'm holding you up for seed starting, please just private message me and let me know. If it's your first time watching, make sure you have a notebook and a pen handy because you might just see 1 or 2 things you would like to get your hands on. Some of them are easier than others to get your hands on, but it's always good to write things down. And then in our group, we have Seed Seeking Saturday, where you can put up to 5 varieties every single week that you're looking for in the hopes that somebody can grant it to you. We also have an ongoing, we call a most wanted post, where you can have your one most wanted up there at all times. And then hopefully when it's found, you can replace it with a new one. So let's get to some comments. I've got lots to talk about. By the way, if you haven't been to Inspire Garden Life to check out their shirts. They've always got new collections. There's one inspired by our friend Rowena from Canada, the Foragers package, I think. Just check them out at inspiregardenlife.com. They they always create a little slideshow for me. Let me see if I can find out or find it rather. It's here somewhere. Is this it? Here they are. Look at these slides they create for me, Tim and Darylyn. I like they say 4 more weeks of winter. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm over it. Totally over it. Um, their winter collections, Winter Foragers and the 12 Days of Christmas, celebrating mushrooms, berries, and the quiet abundance of winter, available through January. And then for TLC members, Tomato Lovers Collective, winter shirts are $23. And with our ongoing code forever, code TLC20, it's over 50% off. The other collections are 30% off plus our 20% off code. And they say, we love telling gardeners stories. Join our design community, help shape what we create next. Share your story and receive free t-shirts. And they really do. Tim and Darylyn, I'm not sure if I've ever seen a company so involved with their customers and so wanting to learn from us and grow their own business based on real gardener stories. It's amazing how many shirts were created. There's a whole Tomato Lovers Collective collection. In fact, this is part of it. Where's that? Tomato Lovers Collective. Looks like a garden girl with a tomato hat. Looks like me in the summer when I'm wearing a hat. Sometimes I wear a hat. So they're really just nice people. So check them out at inspiregardenlife.com. And look at this. Is this not the most adorable thing you've ever seen? I don't know how they got these cute little Santa stuffed animals that look exactly like them. And I'm in love with your cat. It looks like there might be a squirrel on Tim. I love that kitty cat. It kind of looks like my Rory. So their prizes today, again, 5 free t-shirts and 3 $25 gift cards. They do ship international now. So really happy to see them once a month. They do it. 1 t-shirt would be great. They give away 5 and then 3 gift cards, which is incredibly generous. Tim and Darylyn, if you're watching, thank you. All right, let's get to these comments. I've got 73 comments that I have yet to get to. I'll do my best. Of course, we've got Sherman, number 1. Happy Thursday. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year, everybody. 2026, I'm feeling it. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be an epic year for our tomatoes. I know we never really know what the season is going to bring. We're always at the mercy of weather, but I'm feeling good positive vibes for this year. I've had two great seasons in a row, which probably should do that. But I'm feeling it. So happy New Year to all of you. Let's go into 2026 together and send each other our positive energy and seeds, of course. Hi, Tiffany. Can't wait to watch today. Thanks for being here. Hey, Deborah. Oh, you must have written this before you went to bed. That was 4 hours ago. Deborah's from Australia. Hey, Deborah. And Mayor from afar. It's so nice. I feel like I haven't seen your names in the longest time. There's Mary Rivas. Happy Thursday, my fellow tomato peeps. Before I forget, so I mentioned about the grow outs. We're doing it in Tomato Lovers Collective, and also we have a sister group, Pepper Lovers Collective. And I thought of it because Mary is one of our hosts of the pepper grow outs. And for the peppers, the category, Ken Fry is heading this up. Thank you, Ken, if you're watching. And then we have Mary, we have Kim Wallace, and Akelia. Thank you, all 3 of you, and Ken, of course. The categories in potato. We need a Potato Lovers Collective in Swap. Pepper Lovers Collective is sweet, New Mex, which is New Mexican varieties, I believe, jalapeno and jalapeno crosses, hots and super hots, and variegated. So the signups went up yesterday. No, yes, yesterday in both groups. And they will be open for a week. So all signups will be open until next Wednesday. So 6 more days you have to sign up for both the peppers and or tomatoes. And we will, we're going to close it out next Wednesday, the 14th, to all things. And then we will go through the painstaking process of picking our teams. In Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, we have Wild Mountain Seeds, or Casey Piscatora, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about him later. I've talked about him before. In fact, all of these breeders I've talked about before that I'm going to focus on today. But for some of you that may be a little bit confused about the categories and who's what, I thought I would showcase a few, and then you can see how special they are. Kina, Jen, and I go through I'm using the word painstaking again, but we go through a really, I would call it a thoughtful process when we choose our categories. We want things that aren't typical of grow outs in other groups. We don't do red and pink and green when ripe and all that stuff. We really like to make them super unique. We do breeders. This year we've got vendor of Old South seeds on Etsy. Got Bill Jeffers varieties, Alexei Kulik from Ukraine, Livingston's, Lee Goodwin of J&L Garden Seeds. I mentioned Wild Mountain Seeds and Casey Piscatora. Angwei Ias, our friend Angwei. Weird Names, Micro Dwarfs. Michael Kelly's doing micros for us again. France or French varieties. Ultra Rare, of course, it's a favorite every year. Kina's running that one. Multiflora and Bragg Gates varieties. So that is 12, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, I thought it was 13, but it looks like 14. Anyway, we offer a lot of opportunities to sign up. We do try to get as many people as possible onto a team. We choose 15 people per team, and we have 3 backups. In a perfect world, that is what we offer. If you are chosen for a team, you might also be chosen for a backup, but we first offer all these spots to people, so there's no duplicates. But in the end, sometimes we need more people with backups and stuff. Let me tell you quickly what a grow out is for those of you that may not know. You can sign up for a team, and it's for varieties that you already have in your possession. You are not given the seed, so it's got to be things that you own or that are coming super soon or whatever. And then if you're chosen for a team, you'll be on there with 14 other people and 3 backups, hopefully, and you grow the variety that you promise. At the end of the season, you're responsible for sharing 250 seeds with your team host, and every grow out will have the name of your group host. And it would be packaged into 25 packets of 10 seeds each, so 250 seeds. If you feel like you may need a backup plant, or you're a bit worried about the number, it might be smart to grow 2 plants, but there's no rules in regards to that. Micros, I would say micro dwarfs, you may want to do 2 plants, but it really depends on the variety. Some varieties, like the Angwei Ias tomato, which became an instant favorite for me last year, has very few seeds in it. So for that one, you may want to grow 2 plants. That's just an example. And so then once you send it to your host by November 1st, and we're going to be really strict about it this year, then the host is responsible for packaging all of them up and then sending them back to you. We're going to be strict about the November 1st this year, because ideally, like I know for me, I would love to get them out before Thanksgiving, because then the holidays come and it gets more and more difficult. But we did keep it open a little bit this year, so we are going to be strict. But so that's basically the gist of it. And then some of you are getting your grow outs now. I know Jen's went out a while ago. Jen is much more organized than I am. So I hope you're happy with what you're getting. We have a lot of fun. And then we also start a group chat for everybody on our team. And it's on Messenger. And, we have fun sharing photos of our varieties, sharing pictures or whatever. Of course, whatever team you sign up for, the host will always, not always, but also usually provide seeds as well, which can be exciting depending, what the host has in their possession, what they're growing this year. So it's a lot of fun. We had great fun last year. We learn a little bit more each year. So we're looking forward to 2026. So you have another week. So make sure you check out the categories. If you have any questions at all about your particular category or anything, private message the host of that particular grow out and they can help you out. And so so we ask that people only sign up for 2 teams, and you can sign up for up to 5 varieties per category. And then we have to kind of do some wheeling and dealing between the team hosts and um, yourself, and then we see who's needed where, what varieties would make a more exciting grow out, or one that's more well-rounded or whatever. So it is a process. The first year we let people sign up for as many teams as they wanted, and that was just a hot mess and trying to manipulate it. So we ask for 2 teams. All right, let's get back to comments. And thank you, Mary, Kim, Akelia, Linda Wicker Downing, Deb Tessier, Toothaker, and Michael Kelly, and of course Jen and Kina for helping out with these this year. We like to offer as many as we can, and each year we're growing a little bit more, so we're not overwhelmed with all that. But thank you all for volunteering. Okay, who else we have? Lisa's here. Hi, Lisa. How I've missed Thursday Awesome Sauce. Me too. Goats ate my maters. I'm so ready for this. Paper and pen are waiting. Excuse me. I think the last one you talked about, the Clara tomato, and I now have the seeds for that in my stash. That's awesome sauce. I love that. I love Seed Seeking Saturday when I see how many of the varieties I've talked about today end up in there on Saturdays. It's a really great way to try to populate your collection. Hey, blah, blah. Nice to see you. Who else we have? Sasha's here. Hey, Sasha. And Leslie. Hi, Leslie. Tiffany's here. Hey, Tiffany. And Charlie. We've got Robin. All our friends are in. Don't forget, if you're just joining us, we've got some great prizes, including prizes, t-shirts and gift cards from Inspire Garden Life. So make sure you type in hashtag tomato in the comments. Hey, Susan. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad you reminded me of this, Robin. So Jen is once again for the 3rd year in a row doing our Shamrock seed swap, and Jen does it all on her own. She's amazing. Everybody's packing up. There are instructions in the group. It's pinned to the top in the featured carousel. But you send in seeds to Jen, you get back seeds from Jen. She tries to get them out before St. Patrick's Day, and she's very good at it. And I know people have been super happy with it. So that we have that going on in the group too. Before I get to more comments, so Jen and I have a show tomorrow night. Oh shoot, where's the thing? Did I not put it up here? Hang on. So we have a Tomato Talk Live tomorrow night. Here it is. The question mark for the topic is because, and you guys have to step up here. Jen and I, when we had our show last month, we came up, or somebody suggested a topic, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're totally doing that. Jen and I don't remember what it is. We have no idea. So if somebody can remind us, I feel like it may have been John Kramer who suggested it, but if anybody can remember, it was a really good one. We'll come up with it eventually, but if any of you out there watched the show last month and know what our great topic was, please put it in the comments. We'd be very appreciated. Very appreciative, rather. Hey, Kina, Happy New Year. And Misty, hey, Misty. Finally made it to a live. Yay, it's Misty's very first time. Happy to have you, Misty. Hi, Heidi. Bic for home, been a while, but here I am, raring to go. Me too. Thanks for joining in. Hey, Tara Dove. Tomatoes are back for the new year. Yay. I know it seemed like a while that, we have a long time to gather seeds, and now it's, depending on where you live, of course. Now it's like, all right, we've got January coming. Some people down south start their seeds in January. So we're down to the wire. I will eventually, I forget when I started it last year, maybe March. Is it March? Maybe March, when I'm really close to like truly having my end grow list. Then I start a series of things talking about my grow list, which I've done every year. That'll be separate from this show. And I always love doing that. I think it's usually like 6 episodes long or something like that, but it's fun. Hey, Haley. Happy New Year. I'm excited for the chance to enjoy the awesome sauce today with you all. Thanks for being here. Who else? We have Raminta's here. Hi there. And Rowena. Hey, everybody. Jennifer Barnes is here. Hello, fellow tomato lovers. Mariah's here. Hey, Mariah. And Teresa, thank you again for donating seeds for this episode, your prizes are always very appreciated. And Dawn's here. Laura Bradley's here. Who else? I'm just trying to get everybody to say hi. Hey, Stephanie. Happy New Year to you. And Denise, Happy New Year. Crafty T333. Terry. Hey, Terry. Nice to see you. Happy New Year to you. And Drew is here. Hey, everybody. Hi, Mel. Nice to see you. Happy New Year to you. Jamie's here. Hey, Jamie. Nice to see you. And we've got Lisa here. Happy New Year to all tomato peeps. Here's Linda. Hey, Linda. Such a sweetheart. Can we all agree that Linda's like a complete sweetheart? I think we talked about this in a prior episode. She really is. Hey, Mike. Nice to see you, my friend. And Kim is here. Janet's here. Hey, Janet. I will eventually talk about tomatoes. For those of you that are new, you're like, when are we going to talk about tomatoes? It will be coming, hopefully sooner than later. And I've got some really great ones to talk about today. Hi, Nesha says. Thanks for being here. All right. Everybody's putting in hashtag tomato. That's good. Hey, Missy. Thanks for being here. Heidi. Alert, alert. Tomato awesome sauce virgin. Speak up. Yes, if it's your first time, we would love to say hi to you. You will instantly feel the love. I will promise you that. We're always happy to welcome more people to our Tomato Head community. Speaking of another sweetheart, here's Deb. Hey, Deb. Thank you for volunteering for a grow out also. Again, I appreciate it. We all appreciate it very much. Happy New Year, says Dana Lucia, 9280. And hey, first time watching, Rosalina Matilde, 146. Welcome. Really happy to have you. Welcome to our Tomato Head community. If you're not already a member of our community on Facebook, we would love to have you join us at Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. You will love it. I promise you. And if you've never, not just for you, but for anybody that may not have grown tomatoes before and it's your first year, please don't hesitate at all to ask us questions. There is no snobbery in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap at all. We're really happy to have you. We have 95 live viewers right now. Welcome, everybody. Oh, 99. How exciting. And that's just on YouTube and Facebook, not on Instagram. Welcome, everybody. Like I said, if it's your first time growing or you've grown before and just picked up plants and never started from seed or whatever the situation, our group is not just for seasoned growers. It is also for beginners. And you will find out a lot of information. Many of you started as first time growers, and now you're some of the biggest tomato heads we have. So please join us. Hey, Harley, is it too late to sign up for the grow out? No, they're open until next Wednesday, January 14th. So you can go ahead and do that in the group, whether it's Pepper Lovers Collective and Swap or Tomato. You can sign up for both. You're not just chosen for Tomato Lovers or Pepper Lovers. You can absolutely sign up for both. Hey, Kim. Good afternoon. Thank you, Kim, for volunteering to be a host in the Pepper Lovers Collective. It's too early to sow seeds. Yeah. It's hard when I go to visit my parents for 3 weeks. So I go like mid-February and right through the beginning of March. And I see lots of people starting seeds in the group when I log in. And I know it's too early for me, but I'm always like, oh my gosh, I got to get home and start my seeds. And I really don't. We say it all the time, but make sure you check for your zone. Do not start early. Trust me on this. Don't start early. Many of us who are seasoned growers, we've been there. You stand a big chance to stress out your plants before they even get in the ground or in a grow bag, whatever. It doesn't give you earlier tomatoes at all because it's really about soil temperature. Jen and I have talked about this on Tomato Talk Live. So don't let the urge to start seeds fool you. It's really kind of pointless. The only exception I will say, and I've talked about this in years past, I think I started it 3 or 4 years ago. I call them garage tomatoes. And so I will start some dwarf varieties early, things I will probably just grow in a grow bag. I'll start them early, and then when it starts to be like warm weather during the day, but still too cold at night, I'll drag them into the garage. And that has given me early tomatoes before, but I use the dwarfs because they're much easier to handle. So if you have a situation where you can drag things in and out, give garage tomatoes a try. That will give you not super early, but it will give you earlier tomatoes. Otherwise, please, please, please wait. And if you're not quite sure, you can private message me, Kina, or Jen, and we can possibly help you out with what a good date is to start. But this is stuff you can find like Farmer's Almanac and sites like that where they recommend. I would definitely heed the recommended date. Those of you who have started early before, you know that this is true. Hey, Greg's here. Happy New Year to you. Um, Bonnie Hill, hi Lauren. This is my second time chatting, but I watch you every week with my daughter, Jamie Hill. Jamie's mom is here. We love real tomatoes. Oh, we love your daughter. We love Jamie. It's so nice to see you, Bonnie. Thanks for being here. That's really cute. Jamie, I didn't know you watched with your mom. That's really, really nice. Regarding Inspired Garden Life, they are the best and the t-shirts are amazing. They really are. They wash up beautifully. They're super soft, which you can probably tell. I've washed this plenty of times and look how vibrant it still is. They have V-neck shirts. They've got long sleeve now. They've got tanks, beautiful tanks, which are great in the summer. So make sure you check them out, inspiredgardenlife.com, and make sure you use the code TLC20 for 20% off. And right now they're having other sales, which the 20% off goes on top of. So good time to get some cheap and wonderful t-shirts. Lunar, I got that shirt too. It's so cute, isn't it? I love it. It makes me happy. It makes me smile. Hey, Claudia. Wishing you a happy gardening year, health, and joy. Nice to see you. Hey, Natalia. Happy New Year. Missed all of you. Missed all of you too. Rowena says Inspired Garden Life t-shirts are wonderful. I can't say enough good things about them. I know. I'm sure most of you know the story of how I connected with them. And they have been such a gift to our community. They're giving out t-shirts left and right and just the hopes that we enjoy them, possibly put a review up, but they really want to hear our thoughts on it, which is just good business. They want to do this in their retirement, Tim and Darylyn, and I just really like them. I the first time I found them, which was maybe a year and a half ago, I saw they had all these tomato shirts that I did not own, and I didn't think that was possible. But it was the same old t-shirts like "Love You from my head to my toes" and things like that. Cute, but theirs were very unique. So I reached out to them and told them, "I have a community. Would you consider doing a coupon code?" Which is very unlike me. I never ask for things like that. And then they've become great friends. They came to our Carlisle tomato tasting in person. They came all the way from, I think they're in Missouri. They're just wonderful people. So I love to give them the business. Speaking of the tomato tasting, last time I talked to you guys, it was too early for me to book the pavilion in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Well, now it's not too early. I've booked it for both dates. So our plant swap, our seedling swap is going to be Friday, May 8th. And this is at Latort Park in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And then our tomato tasting is booked for a month earlier than last year. It's Friday, August 28th. So mark your calendars. Jen and I, this is our halfway point between us. It's in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And we've had a great time over the past 2 years offering. We come with our extra seedlings in the spring and we can swap with each other. Or if you don't have any, just come and we're happy to give them to you. And then we had our first tomato tasting this past fall. And that was fun too. Ken Fry from Forgotten Heirlooms came. Sean and Pat Broadmerkle from Bounty Hunter Seeds were there. They were selling seeds. And then, of course, Tim and Darylyn. We're hoping to make it even bigger and better each year. So mark your calendars, May 8th and August 28th. I want to... It's nice weather. Hey, Eric. Nice weather here in Northwest Pennsylvania. I just weeded in the garden. How nice. Yeah, it's a little warm these past couple of days, which has been great. I went into the city. I had a rheumatologist appointment on Tuesday. And Riley, my daughter, who's now home from being Cinderella on Disney cruises, she came with me and we made a nice day out of it. We saw a Broadway show. We went to our favorite vegan restaurant in the city. So that was nice. And the weather was not too cold because New York City in the winter can be brutal. But it wasn't. Dana, hi Dana. Nice to see you. Hey, Brandy, Happy New Year. It's been too long with the hustle and bustle of the holidays. Happy to be hanging with my TLC friends again. Happy New Year, all. Cheers to our best garden season yet. You are right, Linda. Thank you for that. New Mex peppers are peppers created by the University of New Mexico. You're absolutely right. Thank you for that correction. Um, hey, Jeffrey, my friend Jeffrey from Secret Seed Cartel. He's working on T-shirts. It sounds. He sent me one of his hats last month, which I absolutely love. I know people have been asking for it. For those of you that may not know, I'm the resident blogger over at Secret Seed Cartel's website. I've got 2 blogs up so far. I need to work on another one. Jeffrey and I have some ideas. They also have a 20% off all-time code, unless that's changed, Jeffrey, and please let me know. Their code is also TLC20 for 20% off. Forever code secretseedcartel.com. All right, let me try to get through these comments, or as many as I can. Hey, Akelia, please come and sign up for my PLC Jalapeno and Jalapeno Crosses team. Thank you, Akelia. She's doing one for each Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, and I was going to say potato again, Pepper Lovers Collective and Swap. So thank you, Akelia. I'll tell you, I didn't know it's until next Wednesday. Definitely signing up for peppers. Really want tomatoes. Sign up too. We'll sit down tomorrow to check what I've got. Cool beans, cool peppers, cool tomatoes. Kim says, loving the TLC grow out groups this year. One note, Etsy completely hides most vendors over here, so I can't see Val, Old South Seeds, as in not even their listings, never mind details, just a note for the future. I'm sure Deborah said it's the same for her in Australia too. Actually, I knew that, but I didn't. That's really, really good to know. But if anybody needs to see, we're working on breeder resource sheets, and we can certainly do it for vendors too. The other thing with Etsy is when they are sold out of seeds, the listing is gone. So you may have seeds from, say, Old South Seeds or Lee Goodwin from J&L seeds that they no longer sell, and you may not be able to see the listing. So I appreciate that feedback very much, Kim. Just put up an Ongwe ES breeder resource sheet last week. I think it was last week. It was last week. We're working on things like Wild Mountain Seeds, working on Bill Jeffers as well. I'm working on Lee Goodwin, but only so many hours in the day. It's been a crazy week, as I'm sure you guys can understand. So excited about the Livingston grow out. It has seemed to be important to grow out these classics. And that is exactly why we choose the teams we do, is because we really want to help get seeds, important seeds with good stories, or seeds that may be in the danger of extinction. We really want to help get those out, and Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap is a great place to do that. Hey, Rolanda, nice to see you. Mary L, cutting up frozen tomatoes, making chili. Very nice. Very nice. I've shared before this year for the first time with my peppers. I chop them all up together, sweets and hots. I don't grow super hots. And I put them in those super cubes, those freezer. It's just like a silicone tray. Riley got it for me a few years ago. And I made these frozen pepper rectangles. I used it for dinner last night. It is fantastic. And you wouldn't know they're not fresh tomatoes when they're frozen like that. So if you're looking for something like that, I highly recommend freezing them in like cubes or individual. I don't know how else you can do it, but these were rectangle cubes. They may offer other shapes as well. Hey, Gina, nice to see you. And Catherine's here too. Gosh, we've got so many people today. Happy to have you all. I have to try so hard not to start my tomatoes too early. I know it's torture, but don't do it. You've got to trust us. Your tomatoes will come out earlier, probably, because when you grow it too early, you outgrow your grow lights and the plant becomes stressed. And then when you put it in the ground, it's going to have to play some catch up. So you've got to trust us on this. Try some garage tomatoes if you can. We have 100 live viewers right now. Woohoo! Excellent. Welcome, everybody. If it's your first time, type in hashtag tomato. We're giving away, I think, 13 or 14 prizes today. And I will do the drawing at the end of the episode. We're starting the new year off on a good note. 102 live viewers. That's excellent. I'm looking at myself here. Jen gave me these tomato earrings for Christmas, along with some other things. They are green tomatoes. She got them from the Tomato Art Festival in Nashville for me this year, sent it to me for Christmas. I've never seen green tomato earrings before. So thank you, Jen. I know she's probably working, but she'll probably watch this later. Aren't they super cute? And if there's a green tomato earring, I mean, who else could it be made for other than me? For those of you that may not know, if it's your first time watching, green when ripe tomatoes are my jam. I love them, love them, love them. I've got like three favorites. Malachite box is an excellent one. Malapine I grew last year, and Verde de las Landas. Those three are extraordinary. And then there's Secret Seed Cartel carries Dwarf 62208, which was bred by MV Gurin. I loved that last year too. There's some, if you've never grown a green and ripe tomato, give one a try this year. I don't think I'm steering you wrong. Many others in the group have told me that. Start with Malachite box. It's not that difficult to find, and it's extraordinary. It's a Russian variety that's excellent. Deborah's in Australia, so her season's going on now, currently growing tomatoes in 104 Fahrenheit heat with wild wind today. Last year, her tomatoes was it kangaroos that ate your tomatoes, Deborah? Which sounds super cool to us in the United States and elsewhere, I'm sure, but I'm sure to you it's not, because for you, kangaroos are like deer that we have here, and that's not exactly cute. Hey, Leslie, nice to see you. Thank you all. If you can hit the like button, that would be fantastic. Oh, I just got a burnt sugar 2 weeks ago. That I didn't realize you were still trying to get that plant to grow. Wow. Well, I'm glad. Isn't it excellent? I don't think Keenan, I loved it. And I've given out a lot of seeds to people. So I hope you love it as much as I did. It was a garage tomato for me last year. It was my first ripe tomato. And oh my gosh, it was excellent. Not to be mistaken with brown sugar. This is burnt sugar from Russia. It's a dwarf and it's excellent. Hi, Aldous. Regrouping before we go out to dinner, but happy I can listen, even if it's just for a short time. Well, let me try to get to some tomatoes. Looks like, oh, Chastity's here. Hey, Chastity. Popping my pepper seeds in dirt this weekend. Yeah, for many of us, it might be time to start peppers, especially, I believe hot peppers take longer to germinate. Oh no, Deb, I just had to suffer through a 20-second commercial. Am I the only one that groans and complains to the TV? I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I thought you could skip them. It does help me out. I don't make a lot of money, but it does help me out. So I apologize. Thank you for bearing with me. I think all in all, I made like $150 all of last year. So, and I haven't been able to do that. Once I hit 1,000 viewers, I could do that. So I do appreciate you guys grinning and bearing it. I live in Ohio, plan to start my seeds in my arrow garden. I have no idea when to start them. Well, so you're starting them in your arrow garden and then going to grow from there. Is that what you're saying? Or are they going, if they're micros, you can keep them in the arrow garden and start them now. But if you're in Ohio, like I'm in 6B, 7A, and I find end of March, early April to be the right time. If you're growing in an arrow garden, that can also speed things up. So if you're starting them just in the arrow garden and going to transfer them, you may want to do it even a little bit later. All right. Hey, Olivia. Thank you for donating seeds today. I appreciate it, my friend. Hey, Simon, love your videos. By any chance, is there a spreadsheet available for all regular tomatoes? No, there is not, Simon. There's just too many, and I wish we could offer something like that. There's tens of thousands of varieties. It would be incredible, just impossible. We do have in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, we have things like Dwarf Tomato Project varieties, which I think needs to be updated. A lot of our sheets need to be updated. We have Bill Yoder varieties. We have Millard Murdoch varieties. Bill Yoder definitely needs to be updated. So you can use those, but no, for all tomatoes, that would be really, really difficult. But we do our best. And I'm glad you've found our microdwarf spreadsheet. You can also check out my Instagram. I haven't put up a review in a long time, but my Instagram is at Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. And I put up detailed reviews, including brick scores and all of that stuff. But I'm way behind. I didn't even finish all from 2024, and I haven't done anything over the holidays. But I do try to get up as detailed as possible. So, if you're looking for something like that, you may want to check it out. Okay, I'm going to get to some tomatoes. How about that? So again, make sure you type in hashtag tomato. Let us see what we're talking about this week. I tried to get, was there anything else? Let's see. What else do I need to talk about? Oh, so I'm still looking for the topic for Jen and our Tomato Talk Live tomorrow. If anybody can remember what it was, we'll figure it out. And I probably could watch the show back, but I'd rather not. But next month, February 6th, for February Tomato Talk Live, we have already booked Ashley from Gardening in Canada again. She's going to be Ashley Essakin, who is wonderful. We've had her on the show before. She's coming on in February. She's put out some really great videos recently about like growing trends that are good for 2026. One, the like buzz things that are popular at the moment, which ones are worth looking into, which ones are a bust. So check her out at Gardening in Canada. If you don't know her channel, you're missing out. She's a soil scientist. She's so much fun, doesn't talk down to anybody. She's super smart. So put on your calendar February 6th for that episode. And Jen and I will be doing something tomorrow night. I know John Kramer's going to offer a prize again. Thank you, John, if you're watching. And we will announce the topic maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. But it will be fun. I can trust you can trust me on that. Okay, let's get. Nope, not that one. This one. Nope. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. So I was trying to get varieties that, not all of them, but a lot of the varieties I'm talking about today can apply to one of our grow outs. And I really wanted to show you particular breeders or whatever. This one by Dora, I actually got from Old South Seeds on Etsy. And it looks fantastic. I believe I'm growing it this year. Do I have a link to it? For whoever said the last variety I talked about was Clara, you're right. I'm looking at my chat here to myself. I do a chat to myself where I have links. I don't have a link to Dora, but I do have a link to another variety of theirs I'm talking about in a minute. So I will put that link up. But it's Old South Seeds on Etsy. Mark Barnett and Carol Galiberti. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. They run this. They had their business open for a brief period of time last year, and now they are reopened. They carry a lot of Bill Jeffers varieties. So for those of you who are into that, we're talking about one of his today. They're like the premier place you want to get your seeds for Bill Jeffers varieties. Carol and Bill have been growing together for years. He stands by their business. So we're doing a Bill Jeffers grow out and an Old South Seeds grow out. So anything non-Bill Jeffers that they carry, like Dora, can apply to that grow out. This one is bred by Keith Muller of the United States, and it looks fantastic, does it not? They say it's a cross of Brandywine, which is a classic tomato for a reason, excellent tomato, Brandywine and Cherokee Purple. Do two positives make a positive? I think usually, but not always. Not always. It's derived from an F2 line selected solely for flavor. The later selection between the sibling lines was for size and flavor. They say it's an indeterminate regular leaf, excellent taste, consistent quality and flavor. It's a beautiful pink that yields 8 to 12 ounce fruits. By the way, if any of you have grown any of these that I'm talking about, or if you are growing, please put so in the comments and we will, because it's always helpful to know if somebody grew it and what you thought of it, whether it's good or bad. We want to know because our garden real estate is precious. Those of you who are growers, you know this. You are aching for as many places as possible because once you join our community, your grow list grows and you'll be adding beds and sticking things in grow bags and corners and all of that. So if something's not good, and taste is subjective. So if somebody says anything is not good, they have to take it with a grain of salt. Jen and I don't always agree on varieties, but many people seem to have the same flavor taste as Jen. Some me, and I've even heard Jen's husband Ben that they like the antho varieties. I'm not a fan of antho. So taste is always subjective. So my opinion is not Godspeak. It's just my opinion. If I have one, I usually have one, but this one I don't because I haven't grown it yet. Let's see what else. Shows definite heat tolerance, which is always helpful for a lot of people. Very tasty tomato, mid to late season. Tatiana's Tomato Base says it was introduced to the Seed Savers exchanged in 2007 by Susan Anderson of Texas, and then it was introduced commercially by the Sandhill Preservation Center in 2009. Has anybody grown Dora before? And if so, what did you think? Hey, Nancy, nice to see you. And Francis is here, trying really hard not to drop seeds in soil this week during our fall spring weather. That fall spring is always torture. I encountered, I think it was 3 years ago, Rob and I planted outside May 17th. And it had been hot and hot and hot. It was my son's birthday, which is why I remember the date. And then we got a frost warning. So we didn't plant everything out, but we had to cover things. We almost lost a couple things, but they actually ended up pulling through. But I will never do that again because it can play lots of tricks on you, even if it's hot and hot at night. That time of year is very bipolar when it comes to weather. Don't need 24-inch seedlings taking up my whole living room. Absolutely. Akelia says, we are still digging out here in upstate New York. We got 24.6 inches of snow in 24 hours right after the new year. We are up to over 80 inches of snow so far this year. Oh, Akelia, I feel for you. Totally feel for you. Tiffany says, super cubes is a great idea. Yeah, I don't know why I hadn't thought of it before. Now I've had those for a couple of years and they sat unused. So actually, it was a member of my other group, Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain, who suggested I do that. And it's fantastic. I popped out a cube last night. I mean, once I freeze them in the cubes, then I take the cubes and I put them in a Ziploc baggie, in big baggies. And I just stuck it in. We do stir fries just about every night with whatever vegetables we have on hand. And it's delicious, delicious. And I talk about this pepper all the time. But if you can get your hands on seeds for yellow ding dong, Matt's Peppers does carry it. It is super sweet with a great gentle heat that I would use. I'm going to grow 2 plants this year, I think. Very productive. Jen gave me the plant last year, and it's instantly becoming one, if not the favorite pepper of mine. So if you can get your hands on yellow ding dong, it's also known as yellow ding-a-ling. If you like a little gentle heat that's edible, it's a great pepper. Who else do we have? Thanks. Those may be the super cues for freezing, Lauren. Yep, that's exactly what they are. Hey, my happy place. Nice to see you. Yes, Tiffany says, yes, I'm going to start them and transfer to the garden. I'm in 6A. Thank you. Yeah, I would wait for sure. Definitely starting in hydroponics can make them grow faster. But I know it's so tempting. Grow some micros in your aero garden. But if you're looking to start all your seeds in there, I would totally wait. You can trust me on that. This is a great idea, Mary. I start my hot and super hot peppers in hydro, and it gives such a big head start. Great idea, because hots and super hots can really be tricky when germinating. I'm definitely not a pepper expert at all, but I'm learning thanks to our sister group, Pepper. I was going to say potato again. Pepper Lovers Collective and Swap. I'm not as crazy about peppers as I am about tomatoes, but I do love them, and I like things that I can use and that are edible. But I like a little bit of heat. That's why I love this yellow ding dong. It's fantastic. Oh, really, Kina? Dora was in the ultra rare 2024. I think Old South Seeds are the first in a very long time selling these. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. I don't know if anybody has signed up with this one yet in Old South Seeds Grow Out, but I do hope so. Thanks for the info. I didn't know it was in ultra rare last year. That's very cool. Oh, Tanya, I totally agree. I suffer from winter depression, and starting seedlings helps me so much. See, a seed, I'm going to get all geeky here, but a seed is hope. One little seed signifies hope. Putting together our grow lists for the year signifies hope and what is to come, and it's new life. And when you look at your garden, you realize that it all started with one single seed. There's nothing better. Speaking of depression, I wouldn't say I get seasonal affective disorder, and I think we talked about this in one of the past episodes about having lights. I just got this yesterday. Ooh, very bright. I guess it was on Shark Tank, and it's a light that emulates your circadian rhythm, and it's supposed to really wake you up in the morning and through the afternoon, and it kind of sets your body clock in motion. It's supposed to help with those winter blues. So I got one for myself and I got one for Riley. I'm excited. I've used it for 2 days so far. I'm like, maybe it could be a grow light, but no. I mean, not a grow light, a ring light for the show, but no, it definitely can't. There's a couple settings, but even on the lowest settings, no, it's too bright. Oh, Mary, I'm sowing the yellow ding dong seeds you sent me this week, Lauren. Super excited for those. Can't wait to hear what you think. I'm not sure what Jen said about it. Did it work out for her? I wonder if I have a photo of it for those of you that may have missed it. I think I do. Yep, here we go. This thing was so sweet and then had this delectable heat. Here it is. Yellow ding dong or yellow ding-a-ling. It supposedly has a Scoville of 30,000. I didn't find it to be that hot, but look at that brick score. That's a 14.2. Brick scores, that's a refractometer in the picture that measures the amount of sugar. So, Brix doesn't always matter. I mean, it gives you an idea of the taste, but we can't accurately describe taste. We can only describe our opinion. But a Brix or refractometer will tell you, and it may be a little different every time, but it will tell you how sweet something is. And for some people, that's really important. Others, not so much. For tomatoes, I don't like only sweet. I like acidity along with it and umami if possible. But for this pepper was extraordinary. So again, I believe Matt's Peppers still has it in stock. Don't tell Akelia it's rare now. She's ordering it. But of course, I'm a grow list disruptor. Tanya, my lights come on at 6 a.m. and off at 10 p.m. It's definitely helping keep a sleep routine. That's great. Linda says, speaking of New Mex, their yellow lemon spice jalapeno is a favorite of mine. Good to know. Deb gave me a jalapeno a couple years ago. Didn't you, Deb, when we met in person? Candy cane? Was it a candy cane jalapeno? It was really good. Love that. I got to meet Deb in person. That was a real treat. All right, back to tomatoes. If you're just joining us, I see we've got 102 live members right now. Make sure you type in hashtag tomato. And Inspire Garden Life is giving away 5 t-shirts and 3 gift cards. And then we've got Teresa Begin, Olivia Lai, and Deb Toothicker giving away prizes. Deb is giving away 2 packs of the spacing out. The grow out she did last week. Tatiana Nagel. How can I forget our friend Tatiana? Tatiana Nagel is a breeder and she's the owner of Tomato Eden, and she ran our grow out for that last year. And she's got 2 extra packages of all the varieties in that grow out that she's going to give away to 2 people today. So thank you, Deb. Olivia's got 1 prize of Everett's Rusty Oxheart, Fleur de Rugier, Fred's Tie-Dye Dwarf, Green Berkeley Tie-Dye, Girl's Weird Thing, Green Copia, Gary Osana, Gold Medal, Gargamel, Great Myers Pride. She's going down the alphabet here. And Olivia told me today she wants to do it every week from now on. Olivia, you're amazing. Teresa Begins giving away 3 prizes. She's got a dwarf prize of Dwarf Edith Stone, Electric Pinky, Laura's Bounty, Loxton Lad, Dwarf Nano's Meatball, great dwarf if you haven't grown it, Dwarf Raspberry Beret, another great dwarf. Prize number 2 is Mariana's Praise, Melon Liqueur, Miss Scarlet in the Kitchen with a Knife, Suffer Well, Captain Lucky, and Girl's Weird Thing. And then a micro prize. Her 3rd prize is Fuzzy Wuzzy, Raindrops, Dynamite Delight, Groovy Tunes, Tiny Tiger, and Little Heartbreaker. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for all your prizes today. It means a lot. I hope you, I think people watch because they're really into the tomatoes, but it's really nice to be able to give away prizes. It used to be all me giving away prizes, and I haven't had to do that in a long time. Not that I minded it, but with how far behind I am on everything. All right, next one, Supernova. Let me just say this, and I'm going to be working on a video about M.I. Gardner. You guys may have watched the show where I talked about him a couple months ago. Don't recommend at all, and there's reasons. And I am going to create a separate filmed video, not a live thing, talking about the damage he's doing to the tomato world. He has a variety in his shop called Supernova Grape. This is not Supernova Grape, and I really wouldn't recommend ordering from him for many reasons. You can, hopefully, I get that video done before I leave in February. This is a variety that is sold at J&L Garden Seeds, but it's bred by Joe Raris, who's a friend of Lee Goodwin's. Joe is also known as Joe Mato, and he's got a really great story. I have a link to, I think I put the link to a story about him. Before I talk about the tomato, this is him right here. How cute is he? Absolutely adorable. He and his partner of 45 years do this together. They've been growing. I think he started with roses, and then he went into tomatoes about 25 years ago. How cute are they? So cute. I think I have the link to the article. He does have a Facebook page also, which hasn't really been active in about a year, but you can join, and I'll put the link there too. All right, this is a link to a great article about Joe. J&L sells his varieties, and they give him $1 back for every pack sold. They're good friends, so this is like a deal they worked out. I'm working on a breeder resource sheet for Joe as well. There aren't a lot that he's bred, but I just want to make sure it's complete. I need to talk to Lee and make sure it's complete. Super cute. So I just put, hopefully, a link to the article about him and his partner and the business he does, or the breeding he does. And then there's his Facebook group. Let me give you a link. Join his Facebook group. I think he's got like 400 members. Let's slam him with follows. Make him feel good. Here's his Facebook page. Okay, back to the tomato. Here it is, Supernova. This is an orange, and I've made no mistake. I'm not a huge fan of oranges. They're a little bit too mild for me normally. But this is supposedly an orange that has loud flavor. And if anybody's grown it, please let me know, because I'm considering putting it on my grow list this year. It's a yellow-orange beefsteak bred by Joe, meaty with lots of flavor, often superior to KBX, which is Kellogg's breakfast potato leaf, in production and fruit quality. If you had trouble growing the big yellow tomatoes, this would be the one to try. And then Joe himself says, I know it's yellow, but the flavor is better than most beefsteak tomatoes. I will always grow this one. And then Tomato Faifu in Belgium says, large yellow bulging fruit, meaty beefy flesh with an intense flavor. Intense! Ding, 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 ding. I need. My husband loves oranges. He likes things like Kellogg's Breakfast, Carrie Claxon we grew a few years ago. In fact, I see that Old South Seeds is now carrying Carrie Claxon. It's one of the collector's tomatoes I got a couple of years ago from Secret Seed Cartel that I don't think they're carrying anymore. If I'm not mistaken, Jeffrey, correct me if I'm wrong. But I had given some to Jim Wyant last year, some seeds. I'm not sure if he grew it this year. And then Old South Seeds is selling it. That's a pretty good orange variety. Not intense, but better for me than Kellogg's Breakfast. So this is Supernova. And then, not to be confused with Supernova Grape at M.I. Gardner. Lee in J&L Garden Seed says that Joe is one of the most respected American plant breeders. A number of his varieties of tomatoes are in circulation. We hope to draw as many as possible together here. So nice. Part of what I love about a lot of breeders in the tomato community is they like to work together. I was talking with Lee over email today, and he's sharing with me, like, this one helped with this one. It's really, really nice. They're not all like that, but obviously Lee and Joe are. And he said, like I already mentioned, $1 will go back to Joe and his projects. Lots of flavor, intense flavor. Has anybody grown this one? Oh, Evelina. She's always good for this stuff. Bought from J&L many years ago. It had so much flavor in it that I was almost shocked. Okay, this is going on the grow list. Seriously? And why have you not told me this? Or have you told me this and I forgot? Wow. Interesting. Did I put the link in J&L? Let me check. No, I didn't. But if you go to JNL, what is it? Let me see if I can find it for you guys. It's jnlgardens.net. Here it is. Let's see if I can screen share here. Oh, Evelina, you just made my day. Because I always like to grow at least one, but I'm looking for something with like lots and lots of flavor. Here it is, Supernova. Good to know. Let me put the link, and they are in stock. The one thing with JNL Gardens is that when something's out of stock, the listing disappears. And I'm going to be talking about one today that I have seeds for. I'm growing it this past year, and they haven't been selling it, so getting info's been challenging. I'm going to be talking about that in a couple minutes. So if you purchase anything from them and you keep track in a spreadsheet or whatever, make sure you get that stuff. I know SUCR X25 from Lee Goodwin keeps going up and disappearing. Many of us have that. I'm growing that this year too. Okay. So Evelina is blowing my mind. I'm totally growing it. Who else is growing it based on that? Supernova on my list. Oh, Jane's growing it at the moment. Yet to taste my first one. Please keep us posted. And my gardener's very fake and phony from my experience, and I've had personal interaction. Yeah, I don't think it's a super surprise what I'm saying here. All right, I wish I had an interior picture of Supernova. I do not. Oh, Laura, Supernova was on my wish list for the last few days. Interesting. So while I'm hosting a grow out for Lee Goodwin varieties, he's the owner of jnlgardenseeds.net, but it is specifically for the varieties he has bred, and there is a category for JNL exclusives. So if it's in there, or if it's a variety that you have that he bred that's no longer on there, those are what this grow out can be. So Supernova would not apply to that, but it could apply to another one, like maybe ultra rare, or trying to think of what else it could apply to. Maybe that's it. Yeah, there's weird names. Deb is doing one called Weird Names. I'm not sure if Supernova is in there, but being weird is very subjective, so we will see. At least I know why all his videos always gave me heebie-jeebies. Showed himself this year. It's an understatement. It would take a lot for me to create a video like this, but I'm very concerned with what he's done to the tomato world. If you don't know the story, I will spell it all out. Not looking to start a fight, but I'm looking to inform. I feel like being I don't know what you want to call me, a tomato educator or whatever it is. I feel like I just need to inform in a very, matter-of-fact way, no emotion in it and all that. But he's doing some really bad things intentionally. So we'll get to that another day. All right, we got Joe. I mean, I would grow it just because he's so darn cute, he and his partner. Okay, next one. This is exciting. Kim, if you're here, Kim gave this to our Spanish grow out, and it's an excellent and very cool variety called Quarantina, which does translate to quarantine. It's from Spain, obviously, if it's in the Spanish grow out. Kim, if you can let us know what you thought of it. It's a pretty rare variety. It is also listed in the Arc of Taste website. Arc of Taste, for those of you that may not know, they focus on bringing attention to varieties that may be becoming extinct, or they're regional varieties, and they try to bring awareness out there. This is listed on there, which is also another big plus for me with my grow list. If it's an Arc of Taste variety, especially with peppers, I do that a lot with peppers. I get excited about it. There's a lot on there, but so Quarantine is on there. There's a lot of information, and thank you, Kim, for giving this to our Spanish grow out. The Quarantine tomato takes its name from the fact that it traditionally took approximately 40 days from sowing to its first harvest. This characteristic made them especially prized when continuous cultivation in greenhouses was not used. Let me just pick out some of the important information here. And it was grown in a special climate, the Valencian marshes. Arc of Taste says the average size of the tomato is between 200 and 400 grams. I love how red it is, and the interior being red too. I don't like when it's kind of an anemic, lighter flavor inside. We have 113 live viewers. Hey, everybody. If you're just joining us, I'm Lauren, Mrs. Tomato Head. Make sure you type in #tomato. We've got like 13 or 14 prizes to give at the end of the episode. And I'm really glad you're here. Make sure you check out our community, Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. And then the first Friday of every month, which is tomorrow night, Jen, Joy, and I do Tomato Talk live, and nobody's coming up with this topic. That was so, so great. I did message John thinking he may have been the person, but I know it was a great one. And Jen and I said on the air live, we're totally doing that next month. We can't remember, but we will. We'll figure it out. but website says no matches. Did Supernova sell out already? Yep. Gone. Sorry, guys, if you didn't get in. It's what my show tends to do. Growless Disruptor, and I don't think I told Lee that I was doing Supernova. I did tell him about 2 others I'm talking about, so he will likely know what's going on. Sorry, maybe you can find it somewhere else. I don't remember if I saw it anywhere else. But let's get back to Quarantina. What else? Possesses good flavor. Fruit is brilliant red. Good productivity. Has thin but tough skin, so has good tolerance for handling. They're talking about how they used to process it and keep it in bottles of wine. This previously popular tomato is now disappearing because of mildew attacks, leading to the end of tomato growing in the area, being replaced by fruit trees like persimmon, orange, and peach trees, and other crops such as beans. The presence of cultivated plots of potato nearby increases the probability of fungal attack, especially after potato harvesting. This variety of tomato was cultivated in the municipal area of Algenay during the 1950s and 1960s. It's probably not Algenay if it's Spanish. It's probably like Algenate. I don't know. Maybe it is Algenay. The Algenate area was one of the biggest producers in Spain. It was a significant producer, exported around Spain and Europe, and it was the only variety grown in Algenate. So that's Quarantina. If anybody's grown this, let us know. Kim, if you're still here, would love to hear your thoughts on it. Our Tomato Guardian. I can't believe Supernova sold out already. Meraki shows Supernova. Is it the bicolor that I showed, or is it that grape that M.I. Gardner sells? I grew this one for the grow out. It was so productive. I know. What did you think of it taste-wise? I'm so excited to have it included in our Spanish grow out. Jamie says, I don't remember, but I want to know best and worst tomatoes of all time and just general tomato chat with you lovely ladies. Tough decision. It changes every year. I didn't think anything could unseat Malachite Box, but Malapine did. And I'm not sure if I told you guys this or not. Like, I've done a lot of the Russian site that carried Malapine no longer carries it. And that's the only place I've seen it listed other than from my Polish tomato friend on her site. But I was doing some research, and somewhere I read that it could be a cross of Malachite Box and pineapple, which would explain the name Malapine. Could be. I mean, I can't say that for sure, but that's exciting to me. It's not the grape, it's the beefsteak. That's great, Mary. I don't know if you can grab the link and put it in the comments. That would be wonderful. Evelyn is putting this one on a lot of grow lists today. All right, that's Quarantina. This one I was talking to Heidi Dolan about. I know she can't be here today. She sent me seeds for this. It's got a great story along with it also. How do we pronounce this? I don't know. The photo is from Bounty Hunter Seeds, so you can find it there. Starubryacheski. It's from Russia. It translates in English to Old Believers, and that is the story behind it. It refers to a traditionalist Russian Christian sect that broke from the official Russian Orthodox Church in the 17th century. These Old Believer communities retreated to remote regions of Russia to maintain their religious and cultural practices. And the name suggests it was preserved or cultivated within those communities deep in the Siberian taiga, from far from mainstream agriculture and commercial seed lines. Super exciting, right? Super great. This is why I love this show and I love our group and I love the stories behind each one. And I always think like, I'm not going to have any stories on tomatoes to talk about the next time. And that's never true. There's always something out there. Susan, I planted Starubrietsky. I really liked them. Good to know. Um, I will keep you up to date. I won't be putting it in Tomato Lovers Collective because we don't do drama at all in there. But if you subscribe to my channel, Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head, it will be up there. I would never put it in TLC. Um, I just don't know that it's right, but it will have important information, like screenshots and everything. So, um, could you please post Malapine from your Polish friend's site? She doesn't sell seeds. She's kind of like me, where she's a grower and she posts reviews and things like that, but she doesn't sell, and it's really just photos of it. But if you look on my Instagram, I can get you the link to my review of it. But if you're looking to buy it, don't think you're going to have great luck this year. Let me get you. Here it is. Let me show you the screen. Look at this beauty. Gave it a 9 out of 10. Am I showing it? Yeah. 9 out of 10. It pained me to vote this better than Malachite Box, I've got to tell you. 7.6 bricks. It also had great acidity and tanginess to it, too. Incredibly delicious. For sale, you'll be, I'm certain, able to buy it next year. I thought maybe more vendors would have it this year. No such luck. I've given away a lot of seeds. I hate to commit to anything new right now because I'm so far behind. But I've given a lot away, so you'll definitely be able to find it next year. Anybody else grown Starubrietsky? Oh, I got that one in my advent calendar from Robin. Nice to know. Yes, thank you, Robert. Or not Robert, Misty, right? Tomato Faifu has a supernova listed large yellow beefsteak. They do, and that's the right one. Is it in stock or not? I don't remember if it is or not. Sometimes they don't have a lot in stock anymore, but they are a good resource. So if it's in stock, that would be great. And if you could put it in the link in the comments, that would be wonderful. Haley says, best tomatoes, Angwe ES and Cherokee Green for me. Worst, Black Beauty. I concur. Yellow Pear fills one. Ananas Noir, that's interesting. I thought Ananas Noir was okay. Like in my early years of growing, that was one of my kind of funky ones. Absolutely beautiful. My tomato Bananas Noir is an accidental cross of that and a cherry. And I think Malachite Box or Bananas Noir is way better than Ananas Noir. Deborah's growing Malapine right now. I'm so glad. So glad. Mary says Malapine is one I'm super excited for. GWR is also my jam, just like Lauren. Yeah, I always say this, but I hope I'm not, selling you guys something that you don't agree with me, but can't hurt to check, right? I also, way up there at the top is also Suffer Well from Bill Yoder. Excellent tomato. Those would be my top two. And the Angwe ES would be number 3, totally. So we've got a purple stripe, a green one ripe, and a white of all things. So I have no doubt that this year is going to add even more. Adrian Baker, I'm growing Starubrietsky this year. Nice. You'll have to let us know what you think. Iris, this is good to hear. Bananas Noir was one of our faves last summer. Nice. Let me see if I can find, I should have a picture for those of you that are first time watching and don't know what Bananas Noir is. It looks like a smaller version of Ananas Noir. But it's way sweeter because it crossed with a cherry. I didn't breed it, but Rob and I did stabilize it. And it's super pretty. Here it is. Bananas Noir. I've got got pictures up on my Instagram there too. Isn't it beautiful? Totally looks like it's like for some people it seems to get a little bigger, so it may not be completely stable. Some people have more pink in theirs than green. This year mine were more green than the pink. But the flavor is, I think, outstanding. And I'm not into um, only sweet tomato. Oh, Secret Seed Cartel carries it, as a matter of fact. Thank you, Jeffrey, if you're still here. They carry it. Terry, who we bought the business from, grew it last year, so that's awfully nice. All right, back to our regularly scheduled program. We're at, how long have we had? Oh boy, an hour 20. Okay. Make sure you type in hashtag tomato. We're at 113 viewers. It kind of makes me want to cry. It is the year for tomatoes, everybody. We're really happy to have you on board in our Tomato Head family. All right, next one. I mentioned that I wanted to showcase a couple of varieties from some of our grow outs from breeders that aren't all that mainstream that we'd like to bring attention to, which is why we're doing the grow out. And the next two I have, we have a category that Kina is hosting, one of her categories. It is from Wild Mountain Seeds. And I've talked about Casey Piscatora before on the show. Unfortunately, he passed away last February at the age of 39. Very, very tragic. He was good friends with Heidi Dolan, who's been praising his varieties for years now. He was also in Colorado, so the elevation worked out well for her as well. She's in Colorado as well. But Kina has become obsessed with growing and collecting. Is obsessed the right word, Kina? Can I say that? I think I can say that. I get obsessed with collecting too. These are her photos, as a matter of fact. This one is called Chocolate Stripes Improved. It is a variation or a more stabilization of chocolate stripes. But let me tell you about Casey first. He was part of a small collection of people like Joseph Lofthouse who believe in something called landrace gardening or Grex gardening. Angway does a lot of this too, where they plant a ton of different plants together in an area. They let them cross-pollinate. They save the seeds. They grow out again, so they have varieties that are well adapted to their area. There aren't a lot of people doing this kind of gardening, but Casey was part of this community. Joseph Lofthouse, I've mentioned him before. He's got a whole book on it called Landrace Gardening. You can find a lot of Wild Mountain Seeds, and I guess their store is coming back with varieties, but Casey's varieties are sold at a few different places that it seems like he's got deals with. I just got one from Siskiyou Seeds, but this one, I don't know where Kina got it. Chocolate Stripe. Oh, Fedco Seeds. She gave me a listing on Fedco Seeds, which I know well. I know of them well. I've never ordered from them, oddly enough. This is Chocolate Stripes Improved. And let's see. Open pollinated, indeterminate. Kina said, smells good, very good taste. These are her notes. Sweet and juicy, a refreshing dark taste. Brix was a 7.5 or a 7. And it took two strains, Chocolate Stripes, which was bred by Gary Ibsen, the late Gary Ibsen from Tomato Fest. We lost him this year also. And Large Barred Boar by Brad Gates. And it was selected for size, strong stems, early season vigor, disease resistance, and productivity. Fedco says we can vouch for their success. The plants are extremely vigorous and productive with uniformly round, medium-large, 10 to 15 ounce fruits, delicious with a complex fusion of sweetness and earthiness. I've grown Chocolate Stripes. I have not grown Chocolate Stripes Improved. The color is outstanding, and it sounds really good. Fruits hold well off the vine, so a great pick for market gardeners. So good to know, and Kina's notes are really helpful. Anybody else grown this one? Mary says, I was reading about Grex gardening yesterday. It's really impressive, isn't it? Lee Goodwin does some of this also if you go on J&L Seeds, gardens. He does a bit of that also, which is what makes his varieties kind of special, very special. Hey, Gigi. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Adrian said, we loved Bananas Noir too. They were such a great size and such yummy, sweet flavor. Ours were bigger and had a lot of deep pink to them. Wonderful tomato. That's great news. I'm so happy to hear that. Even though I didn't breed it myself, I am breeding other things and some micros and um, some other indeterminates, which I'll be growing a lot of this season. I still feel it's my tomato because we stabilized it over the years and we chose for the color and the taste and all of that. So we're quite proud of it, even though it's really due to our friendly neighborhood pollinator. So this again is Casey Piscatora. We have his company Wild Mountain Seeds. We have a grow out. Keena's hosting it, and his varieties are very very special. Happy to know that Wild Mountain Seeds is coming back into business and somebody's carrying on his varieties. This is another one of his. These seeds are from Heidi Dolan. Mountain Flare, it's called. Look at this variety. I mean, seriously, come on. She told me, or I think she wrote in her Instagram review, it was named as a play on a fair that they have in Carbondale, Colorado, which is Mountain Fair. And it was one of the first survivors of the Mountain Flare of 2020 spring frost trials. After the cold treatment, this tomato took off, producing a load of delicious, handful-sized, crack-free tomatoes on disease-free vines throughout the season. She says, such a beautiful tomato. The flavor is divine. It looks divine. Let me tell you, that interior and exterior looks amazing. So again, this is another one bred by Casey, Wild Mountain Seeds. I haven't looked at that grow out today. I don't know if either of these are listed in the grow out, but if you're looking to, start a collection of Casey Piscatora and Wild Mountain Seeds, sign up for Keena's grow out. They're really special varieties. Yes, Mountain Flare, R.I.P. Casey. Yes, for sure. What a legacy he left behind. It's so, so sad. But his legacy lives on. Oh, I think I have an article. I was going to read it, but time is not working out. Did I not post the article? Oh, here it is. There's an article about him, and I posted in the group yesterday. There was it was an article about him, but sort of a memorial post also from last year when he passed away. So if you didn't catch that, go into Tomato Lovers Collective and you can see that. But there's another article about him. And I'm telling you, when you read this stuff about him, you're going to want to grow his varieties for sure. He's also got Sunfired Flare. I know Keena's working on a breeder resource sheet. He's got new stuff out that she's going to be adding. There you go. That's the article about him. So that is Wild Mountain Seeds. Next, we have another one of our grow outs is Alexei Kulik. The name probably isn't new to many of you in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. He's a breeder from Ukraine. I meant to get the link to his shop. You can order directly through him. It's not in English, but part of it is translated. If somebody can find the link to his shop and can put it in the comments, that would be helpful to people. He has a whole series of things. He's got a lot of tomatoes that he's bred, but he's got a whole series called My Ukraine. And this variety is part of that. It's called Lake Svitiaz. Look at this tomato. These photos are from Tomatoes in Wood, Nadia's Tomato in Wood. Heidi reviewed it. Her site, by the way, on Instagram is Twine and Trellis. Definitely worth a follow. She's got great photos and great reviews. Heidi said it's the deepest and largest lake in the Ukraine. It's very popular with both Ukrainians and tourists. She said, I can see why Alexei chose the name for this tomato. The depth of color is expansive and the color changes as they ripen, both for the exterior and interior. Fruits go from pale chartreuse to almost ochre at complete ripeness. You can kind of see that here. Interior shows varying amounts of deep pink at the cut. Very pleasing. It's a regular leaf plant. Grew to about 6.5 feet. The fruits were in clusters of 3. Mid to late season for Heidi. Seems like Alexei gets them to come earlier in Ukraine. Brix was measured at a 6. Flesh is nicely dense. You definitely get a bit of salt with each bite. These are less tangy green when ripe than some. I grow a lot of things that look like this. Last year I grew a ton. And I have found that they're not quite as tangy as the regular green when ripe. They're more fruity with a little bit of tang, and of course they're not all going to be the same, but that's what I've found I have found with all of the varieties I grow that look like this, it totally looks like a Lauren tomato. Not sure if I'm growing it this year. I do have seeds, but I'm not sure. Um, the fruits grow on a compact plant that, in my experience, never grew much taller than 100 centimeters, which is 100 centimeters, 40 inches. So one site says 6 foot, one site says 40 inches. Oh, this is Nadia's tomatoes and wood. She's the one saying compact plant. Since it remains compact, I recommend leaving several shoots. Has anybody grown this one? I love a tomato with good salinity. Funny you say that, Mary. I have. I was starting to do it at the end of last season. I finally forgot about it, but I've been looking. I do have something that measures salinity, but it doesn't seem to work with tomatoes. I think it measures salt content and things, but it doesn't really measure salinity in tomatoes, which makes sense. But I would love, wouldn't you guys love, first of all, a DNA test for tomatoes so we know what's really a separate tomato, and we also know if somebody renamed it or something like that. There's a lot of tomatoes that pop up like in somebody's garden after years, and obviously it's a tomato they grew at some point, but they don't know. So they'll rename it like a regional name or something fun for their family or whatever. But it would be great to have DNA tests to kind of know what is what. It would also be great to measure things like salinity, acidity, and all of that. For now, we just have brick score, which shows sweetness, but I like salinity too. That is really an important part of what I like in a tomato. Also, um, I like the look of the lake. His varieties are really special. I grew one of his this year that I thought was just kind of okay. It was Chumatsky Shkla, which translates to Milky Way. I talked about it before. I don't think that's part of the My Ukraine series, but I could be wrong on that. And it was good, very productive, just kind of okay for me. Here's another one from his My Ukraine collection. I think I'm growing this year. It's called Aktirka Freckle. You can find it. Tomato Eden carries it. I got my seeds from a tomato friend. Also ordered some from, oh, I think it was a freebie from Tomato Seta or Tomato Galaxy. Valdis runs both of them. I always forget which is which. The same photos and everything, but they're two different sites. This one sounds really, really great. It's a new variety from 2024. It is part of the My Ukraine series from Alexei Kulik. High yielding, mid ripening, closer to mid late. Plants are strong with thick stems, leaves of the usual type, height 1.4 to 1.5 meters. The fruits are like large plums, sometimes closer to rounded, multicolored. It looks very similar to Elves of the Puzzlewood Forest. And what was the other one I grew that was just like that this year? Elves of the Puzzlewood, and there was another one that I'll have to think of it. It looked exactly like it. In fact, I wonder if it's really the same tomato. It's sold as different tomatoes. What's the name of it? I was just telling Heidi Dolan that I'm like an idiot savant when it comes to tomato stuff. I remember things. I feel like it starts with a P, almost positive. But again, if I had a DNA test, I would know if it was the same variety. But anyway, it looks like Elves of the Puzzlewood Forest and whatever that variety that might start with a P is. I've talked about it on my show. I just forget what it is. Looks very similar to that. And please don't get me wrong. I'm not at all claiming that Alexi took this or stole it or anything like that at all. Please don't mistake me. I was just saying the color looks very similar. It's going to drive me crazy now what that variety was. I know I got seeds from Lux tomatoes. I don't know. Has anybody grown Octirica freckle? The freckle center is thick. Yeah, I wish there was a photo of the cross section. Oh no, there is one on Tomato Eden, I think. Let me check. Got the spelling wrong. Htyarka. Here we go. No, it's not the cross section. It's kind of a similar cut, but let me show it to you. Couldn't find out. Oh no, that's a different one. Never mind. I was like, I couldn't find out origin, but it's an Alexei Kulik one. So Tomato Eden does have it in stock at the moment. Here's her photo. So it's not really the cross section. I really like when it's the cross section, but as long as there's an interior shot, I'm quite happy. It does sort of look like harsh melon of the Volga Germans, although mine was more ochre than that. What the heck is the name of that variety? Ugh. I could cheat and I could look at my spreadsheet, but I hate doing that. Maybe I'm just not recovered from the holidays and my idiot savant brain isn't back into normal tomato lovers capacity. All right, so those are both from Alexei Kulik. Again, this grow out is hosted by Akelia, who's of course awesome sauce herself. It would be absolutely a lot of fun to be on a team that she hosts. So I wanted to showcase these two varieties so you can see the types of tomatoes that Alexei has. And whatever you choose for that grow out does not have to be part of the My Ukraine series. He's just got a lot. Treasures of Polisia is one of them. Like many of you in Tomato Lovers Collective grew stuff. This is going to make me insane. What was that tomato? All right, I'm going to peek. I can't handle it. I'm not going to be able to rest the entire show, but I am disappointed with myself that I have to cheat. What was the other variety? What did I say I thought it started with? Prune Iberipuera. That's it. Prune Iberipuera looked very, very similar to Elves of the Puzzlewood Forest. I think I have a... There we go. I'll show you both. Because we're here, we may as well, right? I'll show you what I mean. Okay. Here's Prune Iberipuera. Beautiful, right? Absolutely beautiful. Had a funky shape. Not sure how stable it is because I saw it with a different shape other places. And this is Elves of the Puzzlewood Forest. Again, different vendors, seems to have different shape. Again, I'm not positive what the how stable it is. Elves was really, really good. I'd have to cheat. What did I think of Pruna Iberipuera? Bricks was a 6. I don't have my review written down. I'll have to check. I know I liked Elves better, but this was a really pretty variety. Very late. These both Elves, and I got one Elf early-ish, and then the rest were all late. But anyway, I guess they look a little bit different from Ochre Freckle, whatever it was, but similar. Okay, so those are Alexei Kulik. All right, next one. This is another one I got an order from Tomato Awesomesauce from Valdis Poulins, and I know Kina knows, and any of you have ordered either from Tomato Awesomesauce or Tomato Galaxy. They're both in Latvia, both run by Valdis, same varieties, pretty much in both. He always puts in a gift that is really, really hard to find. Almost always, I should say. And this was a gift that I just logged in my spreadsheet today. It's called Baba Nina. It's from Russia. Had a heck of a time finding information, but eventually I did on a Polish site. Actually, a couple sites, but most information on a Polish site. It's a unique Russian variety sourced from farmers in Omsk. The fruit is spherical and slightly flattened with smooth, shiny raspberry red skin and a harmonious sweet flavor full of tomato aroma. The flesh is fleshy and juicy with a noticeable hint of watermelon. Ripens after 80 days, reaches a weight of about 200 to 350 grams. Beautiful tomato, isn't it? Tall growing, reaching up to 2 meters, requiring staking. A variety worth recommending due to its high resistance and old-fashioned taste. We talk about old-fashioned taste a lot here on the show. In fact, we talked about it. Who was I talking to about it? Somebody in Tomato Lovers Collective just a couple days ago, I think, introduced herself, new member, and said she grew with like her dad years ago and um, wants to kind of mirror the old fashioned tomato taste that she remembers from her childhood. I feel the same way with varieties. I grew with my dad when I was growing up. And so, whenever it gives you that buzz term of old fashioned taste, my radar goes up. My antennae go up, and I'm like, could it really? Now, sometimes that's not true, and I've grown a lot. I don't I don't tend to like reds. I do like pinks. This looks like a pink to me, actually. What does it say here? Yeah, raspberry red skin. The difference with a red and a pink is a pink variety has more pink flesh and a clear epidermis, which is the skin, the outside skin on a tomato. Believe it or not, just something as simple as that will change the color of the tomato. A red variety has the pink flesh, but with a yellow epidermis on it. And I generally don't find a lot in the red category that I like. The exception to that is bacon lettuce, and this, although it is awfully late variety, I grew it again last year for the second year. I still love it. It's fantastic. It wasn't all that productive for me this year. Um, and it's very, very late, but worth the wait. But I had, oh, and Queen Nanny, which I grew from Angwe ES this year. I see many of you who have given seeds to, or whose Angwe is connected with many of you also. Um, some of you have signed up for that Queen Nanny variety in the grow out. So we'll definitely have to have that in the grow out. But anyway, back to Baba Nina. So I am still always looking for good reds, but I'm focusing more on pinks these days. This one sounds really good. Has anybody grown this one? Go take my maters. I have to go clock in at my job, but I'll definitely be playing this back to catch the last of the varieties. Thank you so much for all the awesome content. That makes me feel good. Thank you very much. Yes, Grandma Nina is what it translates to. Please, Keely says, please sign up for my Alexi Kulik team. Paul says, Katirka freckle is one of the translations into English, but others have spring as the second word. Good to know. Maple Heart, you're right, Deb. That was another one. That was a Sophia variety. The shape for me was more of a beefsteak, like a rounder beefsteak. Was that the case for you? I swear, I'm not sure if I've had a tomato that productive in my entire life. Let me see if I can pull up a pic. One of Sophia Sakava's varieties that I grew this year, and those of you in the Sophia Grow Out are getting seeds for that. Here it is. Yeah, it does. We're going back to now the Okatirka freckle and what it looks like. This is hopefully Maple Heart. This is Maple Heart. Such a pretty tomato. Liked it, didn't love it, but so productive. So productive. I grew a ton of things that looked like this last year. You're so right, Deb. Anybody grown Baba Nina? Baba Nina. All right, I may be growing this year because when you factor in like rare and all that, the thing with my grow list this year is I'm growing a lot of it will be F3 generation indeterminates. I've got 4 varieties that I've carried over into next year. 2 are dwarfs, or I've carried over from, I grew, I think I had about 14 F2 crosses I grew last year, and I chose 4 out of them, 4 that were my favorite. 2 are dwarfs, 2 are indeterminates, and I'm growing out a bunch of each this year. And I've also shared seeds with Kina. I think Jen, I still owe her the seeds. Ongwei's going to grow out a couple. I think Linda may be growing out a couple. Akelia may be growing out a couple. Also growing out some of Kina's varieties that she sent. I've chosen names for 2 of mine. The other 2, I'm waiting. One's going to be named in some way after my cat, Rory the Wonder Cat. One is Smiley Riley, after my daughter, because there are no tomatoes that say Riley in the name. What's the other one? Kina, what's the other one? Are you still here? Do you have to go to bed yet? I forget. You'd think I would know the name. So anyway, my grow list is going to be confined a bit to newer varieties so I can grow my own and also growing out works in development by some of my friends. So that's Bob and Nina. Blushing Beauty. So the next two are bred by Lee Goodwin, the owner of J&L Garden Seeds. I need to check my email. I had asked him today. Oh, I had asked him for better pictures than what he's got on his website, and he sent them. And these are great. What he puts on his website is not great. And I was hoping to get, he sent them and they didn't come through. So I was hoping I would get them. It looks like they just came in an hour ago. But they did come through. So I will show you a few more. But it's going to have to be on my screen, unfortunately, because I'm not going to be able to download them and upload them here. This is another Blushing Beauty. And here's another one. This is a special variety bred by Lee. So join my Lee Goodwin. He's from J&L Garden Seeds. There's a lot of people signed up, but I would love to have more of you. And he's got so many varieties. I'm working on a breeder resource sheet for him also. And there's just so many. He did tell me today that he thinks he has a list, so he's going to send that to me, which would be great. But here's what we know about Blushing Beauty. It's a stable cross of Rosa de Bern and Cherokee Purple. And he made it himself. Deep, dusky pink lobes are flawless and spicy sweet. The variety is dependable, adaptable, and very productive, making it a favorite for market gardening. There will be dozens of these 8-ounce beauties ripening at any time on the sturdy 6-foot vines, putting most commercial hybrids to shame. So that is Blushing Beauty. Has anybody grown it? I think I saw somebody sign up for it in the Lee Goodwin grow out. Again, Kina, Jen, and I, and our special hosts who are helping us out, we really like to pick things that are a little bit under the radar that we would like to bring more attention to. Lee Goodwin has a ton of varieties that he's just not talked about a whole lot. He kind of flies under the radar, and he's got some great stuff. And so we kind of wanted to bring those out into wider into the tomato world. And so I wanted to showcase two of his today. I already mentioned SUCR X25. I've mentioned Ambrosia Rose, UBX before. His UBX varieties mean ultra high bricks. He does do some Grex gardening, like I already said earlier. And so he's a really special breeder. I think he's from the Pacific Northwest. So that's Blushing Beauty. Anybody grown this one? Missy says, Blushing Beauty is not on my grow list this year. Rosalina says, I will grow Blushing Beauty this year. Deb grew it. Mine was a rounder beefsteak and uber productive. Good to know. Thank you all. These are really super helpful. So Rosa de Bern and Cherokee Purple, the crosses. So that's got to be great. I think I have the link on J&L if you're interested. By the way, no, I don't have. Hang on, let me find it. Last I checked, it was in stock, and you can find it. Here it is. You can find it in the tab that says J&L exclusive varieties. Let me put the link in the comments. There we go. Usually the photos he sends me privately are better than what he's got on the site. Here's a fun photo. There you go. Yeah, looks like that's all he sent for that. That's Blushing Beauty. All right, did I put it? There we go. And I've got another one by him. This is one that just came back on his website. I was given seeds by my friend in the original packaging last year. This is Turtle Grape, and this is it was almost on my grow list last year, and then I bumped it off, but it's not getting bumped this year. Let me show you. Actually, the picture. This is the same picture, but it looks a little bit better on my iPad. Looks a little dark there. And then he sent me another one. I really want to see the outside. I know this is kind of lame me showing you like this, but I always like to give accurate photos and information, and this photo just doesn't really tell you much. So that is turtle grape. And Lee told me a little bit more about it. Let me see what he said. He said it's related to wild tiger, which is another one of his. It's rounder and a beautiful mottled design on the skin. If you have grown turtle grape, please let us know. Plants are about 5 feet tall, 65 to 70 days. And he told me today it first showed up in a friend's garden who was growing his wild tiger. Then he brought some of the fruit to the Santa Fe market where they were both vendors. The strain wasn't stable, but he selected it for several summers. And then many of the lines that are in Turtle Purple go way back to strains of Brad Gates and Mark McCaslin of Frog's Leap Farm. And he said the stripes trace back to Green Zebra by Tom Wagner. None of that is listed in the on the site. Well, the first part of it is. So I had been looking because, like I said earlier, if they sell out of something, you can't get any information. So I was thrilled to see it's back on there. I could have just asked Lee all this time, but I'm going to put in the comments the link to get turtle grape. You may want, if you're interested in this or Blushing Beauty, you may want to get it soon because the last one, Supernova, that we showed from there sold out. So there's the direct link. Who sells them? It's JNL Gardens.net. I haven't seen it listed anywhere else. Another thing that makes Lee Goodwin's varieties unique. They're not all of them are not sold anywhere else, but this one is, unless I'm mistaken. Julie's growing Turtle Purple this season, so that's a completely different one grown by Angway ES. And I think I've seen a couple people sign up for that variety in the Angway grow out, which is exciting. I tried to grow it a couple years ago, and it turned out to be a cuckoo. And for those of you that may not know, a cuckoo means it wasn't true to type. It grew out to be something else. In fact, I was going to get seeds. I promised Mary Riva seeds after I grew it, and turned out it was a cuckoo. But Mary, did you grow it again this year? The real type? Remind me. I think you may have. That's Turtle Purple. So this is Turtle Grape, completely different variety, but it looks good, doesn't it? Really, really good. Irene says, I'll have to rewatch this later. I'm out and about, and I can't be distracted while watching this. Exactly. You must have your notepad and get all this information. Really grateful that Lee gave me this information today. He's a really great guy too. We were telling the rest of our Tomato Lovers Collective Grow Out team that we only do grow outs for breeders that aren't jerks. And there aren't that many, but there's a few. Lee is not one of them. Okay, next one. Our very last one for today. Oh, okay. I was thinking we were going long because I've been extraordinarily chatty, but I'm doing okay. I told Deb, who's doing our weird names grow out, I wanted to feature something that could be in her grow out today. So I'm like, find me, and it was really part of the reason why I was late. I'm like, find me something with a weird name. Give me a suggestion. She gave me a great suggestion, and I have the seeds right here that I just logged today. Heart of the Wild Moose, another one that really has similarities to looking to Elves of the Puzzlewood. I already forgot the other one. What the heck was the other one? Was it a P? Already forgot it. My idiot savant tomato brain is not quite back from the holidays yet. But I had this one on my grow list for a year. I saw it on Instagram from, I think, a Russian grower last year. So I had it. Tomato Eden does carry it. Trying to think if anybody else I saw carried it. The photo on the left, I think that's from a Polish site. Tomato Pomidor.ru. It's a Russian site. Heart of the Wild Moose. It's a unique tomato that is both visually appealing. I couldn't find an origin on this. I looked several places. I didn't spend a lot of time because I had to do the show. It's probably Russian because the Russian name right there is used more than Heart of the Wild Moose, but I can't guarantee that, so I don't put it on the slide. Um, Mid-season tall variety. Fruits are elongated, heart-shaped, sometimes fused together. And you can see a fused together one in the back there. I had some elves of the puzzlewood that were just like that. They are sweet. They have a strong aroma, fleshy, contain few seeds. What the heck was that other variety I said that I grew? No, I guess I can cheat and look here. Not that. Not that. Prune Iberipuera. Usually I can pull stuff out just like that. Today, not so much. Anybody else growing Heart of the Wild Moose, or did you get a chance to grow it last year? I think it hasn't been widely available until this year. I need this Heart of the Wild Moose. And Deb says, yay, go team weird names. That's a really fun category. Thank you for taking it on, Deb. Thank you, Julia. Yes. And Linda, Pruna Birapuera. Tanya says, green honey. And green honey, these are all in her card at J&L. Green honey, which is one of Joe Raris's other varieties. This is the guy I showcased earlier that Lee is selling on his shop, and he gives $1 towards Joe's projects. So that is one of his. Crazy Sun multiflora. Jen is doing a multiflora grow out too. So for those of you that like a lot of tomatoes and multifloras, that's also a great one to sign up for. And I didn't get a chance to pull up anything for the Livingston's category today, but that's a great, if you're looking to boost your collection of, excuse me, Livingston's. A lot of history behind Livingston tomatoes. So you can check that out. I really wanted to get something in my show today from Livingston, but there's some great opportunities to collect some great categories this year. Sign up for 2. It'll increase your chances of getting chosen, and we're just going to have some fun. It's all about fun. We don't want there to be stress at all. If you have crop failure, we have backups. We are going to be a little bit stricter this year about if you have failure in one of your plants, we're going to automatically default to a backup. And we also have increased the price this year. It's $10 to be a part of the team. And I think it's a pretty good deal what you get. But anyway, she's got in her cart Turtle Grape, Blushing Beauty, Green Honey, and Crazy Sun. I would press order if I were you. Don't want to miss out. Going to have to ask Lee if he's got more Supernova. Tiffany says, Tanya, make sure you check out quick. Can be snagged from your cart. I learned that with the SUCR one for sure. And Lee kept telling me I've got more going up, so I would check every day. And when I would see it, I would put a link in the group, and that would be gone again. River Rock Farm, I have green honey on my 2026 grow list. Maybe next year we should do a Joe Raris category. That would be cool. Livingston Tomato Breeder from Ohio. Read that book last year. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so that's it for today. Hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for being here. Now's your last chance to type in #tomato, and you can win. We had up to 115 live viewers at one point. We're down to 107 right now. But if you're joining us late, make sure you type in #tomato, and you'll have 13 or 14 opportunities to win a prize. #tomato. Our giveaways today are sponsored, as they are the first Thursday of every month, by Tim and Darylyn, our very good friends from Inspired Garden Life. They have the best gardening t-shirts ever, and 20% off with forever with the code TLC20. And just a reminder that that same exact code gets you 20% off at Secret Seed Cartel. Our friend Jeffrey Rainmaker purchased that business a few months ago, and he's doing a fantastic job. He's got some... Jeffrey, are you still here? You've got some Alexi varieties too, don't you? I forget. I should know that. So type in #tomato. We're giving away, Inspired Garden Life is giving away 5 t-shirts. This is one. You can pick whatever t-shirt you want. You're not necessarily getting this one. They've got 1 billion. They've got an entire tab devoted to the Tomato Lovers Collective collection. They asked for our input, and we voted on them. So they've got a whole bunch of tomato and pepper shirts and just regular gardening. Let me get back to their slideshow. Their latest collection is the winter collection with winter foragers and the 12 days of Christmas. This was inspired by our friend Rowena Kotelniski. And they say TLC, winter shirts are $23, and then you get TLC 20 on top of that. So, and all other collections are 30% off, plus the 20% off code. Incredibly generous. So, 5 shirts they're giving away. You get to pick the shirt, and 3 gift cards for $25 off. And then Teresa Begin is giving away 3 seed packages. Olivia Lai is giving away 1, and Deb is giving away 2. So get in hashtag tomato now. And for all of these prizes, you need to reach out to the person who's hosting it. I don't have any of these seeds in my possession, but I will let you know who those are. So let's do it. Let's do it. Make sure you tune in before you guys leave. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night. I guess nobody remembers the topic Jen and I thought was so amazing. Tomato Talk Live, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll have a great show. February 6th, Ashley from Gardening in Canada is going to be with us. Save the dates for our plant swap, which is May 8th in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Our tomato tasting is Friday, August 28th in Carlisle, same location. So make sure you tune in for Jen and I tomorrow night. And as soon as I can figure it out, we will announce the topic. But regardless of the topic, we talk tomatoes and we have fun. I don't know if it was seed starting or not. It could have been, but we've sort of done that before. But stuff bears repeating. So could be that, but we shall see. All right. Where's our prize wheel? That's not it. Nope. Prizes, prizes, prizes. Giveaway. There we go. Teresa, you must have been our last winner at the last show. I think you were. I seem to recall that. So this is from last time. If you win, I'm going to give away the stuff from Inspired Garden Life first. They're sponsoring this episode with their amazing prizes. If you win, you can email them directly. I'm going to keep this scrolling. Email them at support@inspiredgardenlife.com if you win. Okay. So our first one, t-shirt number 1. Blue Goddess 16. Congratulations, Blue Goddess 16. You can email Tim and Darylyn at support@inspiredgardenlife.com. You get a free t-shirt. I mean, come on. These people are incredibly generous. Number 2. Oh, I forgot the drum roll. Anthony. Congratulations, Anthony. One of the most generous people in the world. I'm just going to say it. And I know he doesn't want me to, he's a very humble guy, but he's incredibly generous. So Anthony, you deserve this. Thank you. That's a t-shirt too. Number 3. Oh, forgot the drum roll again. Rolanda. Congratulations, Rolanda. That was a bit of a haze there. You can email Tim and Darylyn at support@inspiredgardenlife. That's t-shirt number 3. Number 4. Can you believe how many shirts they give away? And they send overseas too. They're so good to us. And I don't get any kickbacks from them or anything like that. I like to support good businesses. Cry More Cooks. Congratulations, Cry More Cooks. That's not t-shirt. You get a free t-shirt and you get to choose it. Support@inspiredgardenlife.com. And then number 5. Dawn Shively. Congratulations, Dawn. Magical Twinkle, it says. Congratulations. Oops. Let's stop in the middle of it. Okay. Now we do the 3 gift cards, $25 off at Inspired Garden Life. We've got 3 of these to give away. I guess Tim and Darylyn weren't able to make it today. I see a question from you, Tiffany. I'll address that in a minute. Susan Kirby, congratulations, Susan. The question about grow outs is if you have crop failure, do you get your money back from the entry? The answer is no. No, we don't offer refunds. It's just something we haven't done. It would be devoted. It would go to the backup person. So that's something to consider. But we don't offer refunds. So best bet would be to grow 2 plants, have one as a backup. All right, so I just did this drawing, right? Susan Kirby. So that's congratulations. Sorry, I'm spaced out for a minute. Wanted to get to that question. So that's gift card number 1, $25 off. You can email them at support@inspiredgardenlife. And number 2, Roxanne. Congratulations, Roxanne. Gift card number 3. And last one. Congratulations, Dawn. Eric Olson, 798. Congratulations, Eric. Thank you for watching. And so all of you who I just called, you can email them at support@inspiredgardenlife.com. So our next one, let me get this banner off. You know, I'm going to do this. Our next one is 2 grow out. Oops, hang on. 2 Tatiana Nagel grow out packages that Deb had left over. Incredibly generous. Okay. So if you win one of these, you can private message Deb. That's her name right there. If you're in the Facebook group, and if you're not, please join us. If you're not on Facebook and can't private message for whatever reason, you can email me. And here's my email address. Okay. So again, this is Tatiana Nagel grow out package. Thank you, Deb. What a generous gift. And Tatiana's got some great varieties. Anybody else growing one of Tatiana's experimental ones this year? Baron Munchausen. It's only like an F3 or F4. Tomato Awesomesauce carries it. She had sent me some too. It looks incredible. Absolutely incredible. Anybody else growing it? Julia Peacock. That sounds like a Julia variety if I ever heard one. All right, so here's Deb's. Tatiana's not selling it, Baron Munchausen, on her site yet, but Tomato Awesomesauce is. Naya King 5334. Excellent. Congratulations. You can private message Deb Toothicker, or you can email me if you can't do that. And the second one, Tatiana Nagel grow out. Tanya's Townhouse Garden. Hey, I hope this brightens your day. Literally, Tanya. Hope this, I'm not now, but I need it. Have you seen it? I can pull up a picture. I'm going to pull up a picture. If I can. Where do you see this thing? How do I search? Hang on, I'll get it up. You guys are going to want to see it. It's really spectacular. Oh, did he take it down? Hang on, let me pull up my spreadsheet. I hesitate to pull up my spreadsheet because it could weigh down the internet, but some things just need to happen. Baron Munchausen. Here it is. Oh, it's on Tomato Galaxy, not Tomato Awesomesauce. Wait do you guys get a load of this? No, not that. Look at this thing. Just look at it. He doesn't have F3. Tatiana did send me seeds labeled F3. He doesn't have that on here. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, I know I don't like antho, but I don't always not like antho. And this just looks beautiful. I would love to see the inside. Love, love, love to see it. What do you think? What do you guys think? Julia, what do you think? Mary, have you not heard of this one, Mary? I'm surprised. Oh, wow. Yep, I need that. Is it in stock? Let's see. It is in stock. Let me get you the link. They do ship to the United States for those of you in the US. I've ordered from them. I know Kina's ordered from them. Jen's ordered from them multiple times. And I've had very good luck. Valdis is a breeder himself, and he's a really good guy. Let me put this in the comments. This is the link at Tomato Galaxy. And he was out of stock for a while, so this would be a good get if you can get it. Olivia says, looks like a piece of caramel chocolate I could pop in my mouth. Yes, for sure. All right, back to prizes. Next one. Teresa Begins got 3 prizes. First one is her dwarfs. Dwarf E the Stone, Electric Pinky, Laura's Bounty, Loxton Lad, Nano's Meatball, and Raspberry Beret. So the winner of that, and you can private message Teresa Begin, Begin, or if you this one. Please private. I know you're on. Teresa Begin. And next one is Mariana's Praise, Melon Liqueur, Miss Scarlet in the Kitchen with a Knife, Suffer Well, best tomato ever. Captain Lucky, great tomato. Girl's Weird Thing. And that goes to yeah, that one doesn't work so well. Air horns are annoying. Akelia, congratulations, Akelia. You can message Teresa. And then Teresa's final package, which is micros. Fuzzy was we have a micro dwarf grow out too, by the way. Michael Kelly's running it for us again. Oops, looks like I talked too long for Instagram. They shut us off. Sometimes it shuts you off after an hour, sometimes it does not. Yeah, we're going to offer this every year because some tomato heads can only grow micros and minis. So Michael has kindly agreed to do this for us again, which is much appreciated. So here's a micro package. It is Fuzzy Wuzzy, Raindrops, Dynamite Delight, Groovy Tunes, Tiny Tiger, and Little Heartbreaker. I loved Little Heartbreaker. Not sure how stable it is because some people have grown it and they say it's not good and it looks a little bit different. But when I grew it a few years ago, I really liked it. It was nice and compact and the flavor was quite good. So the winner of the micro prize is Lisa B. Congratulations, Lisa. And you can private message Teresa Begin. Thank you, Teresa, for these prizes. Much appreciated. And then finally, we have a fantastic prize from Olivia Lai. And she's doing this every week, every Thursday I'm on the air, she tells me today. She's already given away so many. So thank you, Olivia. Incredibly generous person. Everybody's really generous. I don't know why I'm singling out anybody truly. Like there aren't many you meet in the group who aren't incredibly generous. So here's her prize. Seats for Everett's Rusty Oxheart, Fleur de Rigier, Fred's Tie-Dye Dwarf, Green Berkeley Tie-Dye, Girl's Weird Thing, Green Copia, Gary Osena, Gold Medal, Gargamel, which is a Phil. For those of you that may not know, Angway ES and Phil Seneca are the same person. Phil Seneca was a name that Angway went by years ago, a decade ago when he was starting to come out into the tomato world, but he's gone back to his indigenous name. So there's a tomato named after him, which can be a little confusing. It's a white that's spectacular. So I mentioned Angway ES, but just so you know, if you have your own wish list or whatever, it is the same person. So Gargamel is a variety that he bred many years ago, and I know people like it. Gargamel and Gripe Myers Pride. I have seen some people signing up with Gargamel for the Angway ES grow out. All right. And this goes to please private message Olivia if you win. Still have 111 live viewers. I'm humbled. I'm humbled. Jerry, congratulations, Jerry. You can private message Olivia and she'll get you hooked up. This has been a great way to start the year, gang. Truly, I have such fun. 3 weeks has been way too long. Hopefully, we won't have to do that again. But thanks for joining in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night, Jen and I, or we always have a good time together. Tomato Talk Live, January 9th, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 1 a.m. Kina time, Norway time. So I hope to join you then. And I keep forgetting to say, I'm restarting my unboxings next week. I've been doing those on Tuesdays. And it's going to be Val's Heirloom Seeds, Val's Farmer Val's Backyard. I think she's recently changed the name to Val's Heirloom. She has a shop on Etsy, fantastic shop, a lot of old American varieties. And I've been promising her, even though she didn't ask, I offered to do an unboxing. I did one unboxing for her before. I think it was last year sometime I did one. But it's always worth. She's always getting new stuff in every season. I've been really into the American varieties for this year, especially Bill Yoder and Angway and mine and some of these old South Seeds varieties. They're not all from America, but some. So, and Val's got some that are really excellent. In fact, one I'm really excited about, which I'll talk about next week. Well, no, I'll talk about it during the unboxing. But tune in. My YouTube channel is Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. We'll do a live unboxing, and I'll showcase this wonderful Etsy shop. She's been around for quite a while, and she's got a lot of fans, and for a good reason. So next week, we've got tomorrow, and then we've got Tuesday, and then next Thursday. So thank you all for being here. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you, donors. Yes, that's a great show, Lauren. Thank you. Yeah, and yes, congratulations to all the winners. Mary says, thank you for spending time with us. Hope you have a wonderful day, everyone. Go sign up for PLC Pepper Growouts. Yes, sign up. PLC and TLC are growouts. We're leaving it open for a week so everybody gets an opportunity to sign up. Don't think because you're signing up as like the fifth person with a particular variety that you're not going to get in. It's not first come, first serve. There's a lot of manipulation behind the scenes. So please don't worry if you've got a variety for a particular category, peppers or tomatoes, and you see 5 people have already signed up, sign up with it if that's what you want to enter, because you may be chosen. It's not first come, first serve. We really try to get everybody into a grow out, and sometimes they're more needed in another one. So please don't let that sway you. We just want you to sign up, and we really want to see as many of you participate. It's been a lot of fun. So I will see you guys, well, hopefully tomorrow night. Thanks for being here. It's been a lot of fun. Peace and love. Oh, by the way, last night, I'm like hazing everybody. It's over. It's not over. Last night, I accidentally put a good night post. I have another group called Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. You don't have to live with physical pain. It's emotional pain, trauma, anything like that. I've run this group. Our 11-year anniversary is actually next week. And I do a good night post almost every night. And I accidentally scheduled it to run in Tomato Lovers Collective and not AOG. And many of you liked it. If you're interested in joining the group, again, you don't have to have like a chronic physical condition, but if you're looking, it's uplifting. You never know when you're going to get a nugget of something that will help you, because life is really, really hard. And pain is pain, whether it's emotional, physical. We can't do much about the physical, but what we have control over is how we respond to things. And so that's what the group aims to do. You can certainly join and be in the background. You don't need to participate in anything. But if you get one little nugget of something that helps you through the day, that's what I care about. And so join us, Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. I was going to take the Goodnight post down once I realized it, but so many of you really enjoyed it. So I left it up, and we did get some new members today. All right, now we're really going. Peace and love. Get your gratitude on and go grow tomatoes. Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow night. Topic? We don't know yet. Bye. Music's not working. Oh well. Play the music in your head. Bye.